sounds like we're, what'd you say earlier, a forest?
Yes,
Yeah.
a rainforest.
A rainforest, huh? In studio with me, I have the wonderful, I like to say she's, or should I say, you are an old soul. You know what I'm saying? Like your voice, when I first heard you, shout out Monty Booker, there was a song called May, and I was like, who is this? Why didn't I know about her? And then once he put me on and started sending me more music, I was blown away. Representing Chicago, Ravyn Lenae, what's up?
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I feel good. It's a pleasure to have you because we met, I want to say like a year and a half ago.
Crazy.
And you remember that?
Yes, I do. It doesn't seem that long ago though.
Yeah. Well, one, I want to say congrats. I know you're here because you're currently touring, and I think that it's amazing to see you on this side and doing your thing, and just to see how much you've progressed in that amount of time. And you know, you have the album out right now, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
I have Moon Shoes out, which is a re-release of my EP that I released about a year or so ago. So it's just a new, polished and refined version of what I released initially.
Yeah. How's tour going right now?
It's so fun. Regardless of the lack of sleep, I'm living, you know? I'm having fun seeing different people, eating different food. I think the main part of me developing as an artist is to travel and experience those different cultures and music, you know? So that's where a lot of my inspiration stems from.
Yeah. How are you able to balance? How's everything going with balancing school, your studies, and being on the road, but doing what you love at the same time?
It's actually super duper hard. One, because I go to a performance arts school where I'm there from 8 to 5. So we do academics and then music for the rest of the day. So it's super hard juggling that with lack of sleep and just regular personal issues and then music issues and just, you know, it's a lot. But I find time to myself to balance that stuff out and to make sure I'm aligned properly.
When you're back in class, do people, do your teachers, your professors, do they appreciate, do they understand what you're doing?
They're definitely very understanding. They're very encouraging too. A lot of my teachers sometimes come to my shows, or my peers come and support me, so I'm very grateful to have that foundation.
Yeah. Earlier, you know, as I kicked this off, I called you an old soul. You're very poetic, soulful R&B. But one thing that caught my attention about you is your beat selection. I tend to notice that the beats and the sound that you pick is very experimental, left field, which I think is amazing, and I think is what separates you and makes you ahead of your time.
Yeah.
Because you pick beats that aren't traditionally a track that someone would sing or rap over. Excuse me. And the fact that, you know, you go for something that's not in the ordinary, I think that makes you stand out. And I'm like, how did she catch that beat? How did she catch that rhythm?
Yeah.
Did it take a long time for you to get to that point? Because those beats by Monty are just, they're different.
Yeah. I like to think that things make sense when they're supposed to make sense. So I didn't really have to work at it. It just came naturally. Whereas a simple, less intricate beat, I would have to work at and figure out.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of second nature for me. And I think, like what you said, it gives a twist to my music, because I am a little poetic, but it's not to the traditional beats, the traditional neo soul. So I think it's a modern, fresher sound to it. So that's what I like.
Wow, like you said, and you have your own sound.
Yeah.
You're not trying to do something that everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Were you ever in spoken word in high school or anything like that?
I think it's so weird to
It sounds like it almost.
That's what everyone says. It's so weird to like not sing what I'm feeling. To just say it, it's just really weird. It's way more vulnerable to me. So
yeah,
I was never into reciting poetry or anything like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice song choice.
Oh, you like this? Yeah. As you know, we always setting the vibe here. Guapale closer instrumental as we talk and keep it moving.
Yeah.
How is it, you know, coming from Chicago? There's so much great music coming out of there right now. You know, I just saw Chance the other day in Miami, like spontaneously, and just to see his live show and just to look and to see, you know, he did it. What was it? Coloring Book Day. what he's doing for the city, to see Kanye doing his thing, just me growing up to someone like Common, you know, No ID, and then to see people like yourself come out, you know, and to see Zero Fatigue and just to see this new generation, I think such a beautiful thing. I don't even know if LA has that right now. Does that inspire you to keep moving?
It's super inspiring. Just being around artists who have the same aspirations and share the same dreams as you, it just keeps you going and encourages you to, you know, to stay focused and to keep your eyes on what's important, which is the music. So, and then it helps that we're all friends and we all support each other. We come to each other's shows. We hop on each other's songs. So it's just, I consider it like a close-knit music family in Chicago.
That's amazing.
So
yeah,
it's there's nothing like that anywhere, I feel.
I have to agree, because in other places, I've been around a lot of places in the world, sometimes people feel they need to one-up each other. And the fact that you already have that unity, I feel you guys will get together, progress further together, you know. So let's get into, for those who don't know, a lot of the Soulection heads know, but if you are unfamiliar with Ravyn Lenae, and you are unfamiliar with her music, and you're unfamiliar with what is being played on the show from time to time, let's get into May. Cool. Monty Booker production, man. It's super serious. Let's get into it. Wow, that track right there is something so serious. Once again, the fact that how you came in the intro was very mellow and down tempo, and then all of a sudden the beat just wilds out, and that's something I'm sure at your shows that gets the crowd moving. Yeah. Oh, this track, right? Taking us back memory lane right now. Throwback. So there was this article, you know, the Pitchfork joint. That was a great article. I really enjoyed it, and again, that was like, wow, they're having a moment. I've been telling people, a lot of producers been coming to me, a lot of artists wondering how to separate themselves from everybody, right? And I've been telling them, you know, you gotta get in the studio and work with artists. You gotta go in sessions. You have to learn how to work with different people, different writers, because that's only gonna develop your confidence as an artist. A lot of us nowadays are just stuck on our laptops, you know, and making beats, making music, digging from our bedroom. But then once it comes to working with somebody who's unfamiliar or with that territory, it can be a little awkward. But you have to practice in order to get to that point. So I've been telling them, like, yo, it doesn't matter if the artist is well known, just get in there and work with somebody. So I think the cool thing is you being, you know, working with the, you know, with Monty, Smee, and Jay and all them. I feel like that's also helped develop all of you guys.
Oh yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
I think it's a really good point that you made, that a part of music is being in the same room with other musicians. Like that is 99% of it, because you feed off each other's energy and you just bounce ideas off each other. Like I said before, just being in that atmosphere all the time, like, it's overwhelming sometimes, because it's like, how do I take myself to the next level? How do I push myself? And they're always there to like support and push me more when I need that extra push. But I think it's very important to surround yourself with what you want to be, you know? So
exactly. I think you're doing a great job. It's almost like you guys are the, you know, what Timbaland was with Static and Devontae and having Aaliyah, Missy, Genuine. I feel having what you guys have is something special. So definitely run with that. And to all the artists out there, if you have your own crew or someone you're comfortable with, just keep working with them, you know.
Definitely.
And then when it comes time to working with the bigger artists or people who inspire you, I feel like they will notice, because they'll look at your catalog and be like, oh, this is what they were able to do with these people. Right? Word. So there you go. When you're looking for a beat, what captures your attention? You know, do you tend to be in the studio, or do you record and write wherever you are in the world?
I'm really into establishing that connection with the producer, so I do like being in the studio with them, just so we can feed off each other, you know. It's one thing to send a beat, okay, I hear it, but it's not the same as being and I also like to be a part of the production process, so I can bounce ideas off you. I can say, oh, put this here, put that there, just so that I'm involved in some way, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm just not a singer. I'm a musician, so I like to be in that aspect of it. So
yeah, no, I capture that.
Yeah.
And what's also cool is I noticed as I'm looking at you and I'm looking in the background, you have a strong family support, right? You have your mother, you have your manager, and shout out Sahar, as I see in the back as well. You know, how is it having your family? You know, I think it's so cool to have your family involved in supporting you. What is that like?
It's amazing. I read a lot of stories about artists who kind of do it by themselves and whose family kind of like said, well, let's see what you can do, or just didn't really believe in them, you know? So I think it plays a major role in how, I don't know, I go out in the world, you know? Like I walk on stage and I'm not afraid to show the world who I am because I have that support system initially. So I think it's really important to have that.
No, I agree. And is your family, they come from a musical background or?
My grandpa, he's originally from Panama. He was in a doo-wop group, but that's it.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
But again, I think, you know, with your mom being there and supporting you, my mom's actually here right now too, and I can't even say how much easier it made my process to continue on, because I know a lot of people who don't have the support, and their parents or family don't really get it until they either prove them wrong or until they do the dream job that their family wants them to do. And that's not healthy. That's never healthy. So the parents or family who are listening, support your kids, support the loved ones, because it's so important. Let's get into another joint from Moon Rocks, and this song I really love, Recess. Yeah. Wow. The textures on that are so deep. The way the track like pans from left to right, and I have to say once again, sonically, your voice, the way you layer your voice, it's really cool. When you record, what's your process? Are you like doing like one bar at a time? Are you just doing like a full take, and how's it go?
I usually do verse by verse, and then after that I'll go back in and think of harmonies and backgrounds and all that stuff. So
got it.
It's a pretty smooth process.
Yeah. Are you a quick writer?
Yeah, if I'm really inspired at the time, I'm a super quick writer. But if I'm procrastinating, that means I'm not really into it. So I just quit.
Nah, I feel that. Nah, but the thing is, with the stuff that the content you have put out is so well sounding. It just sounds wise, you know, for people, you know, people your age. And are you, once you're done with school, you know, at the end of the year, you know, or should I say next year, are you gonna go full time with this?
Yes, I want to be a full-time artist. I'm trying to have fun, you know?
Nah,
I'm trying to live my dream.
How amazing does it feel, the fact that you already have discovered who you are? Because a lot of people haven't discovered themselves yet.
And, you know, I have conversations with my mom about that and how people her age still haven't figured out, you know? So I'm just very grateful to have, you know, that sense of who I am. I've always had that kind of, I don't know, thought of knowing who Ravyn is, so I'm very thankful for that. Yeah,
that's amazing. Do you get a little bothered how the press, you know, tend to focus on just your age and just, does it make you mad? Yeah. As you notice, like, I've been just saying.
I peeped. I'm like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? But you haven't.
No,
Thank you. I would much rather people focus on the music, you know?
That's real.
Regardless the age, like who cares about the age? Think about the music. Like that should not be the main point, you know? That should not be in bold.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I have to think of it from their perspective. Yeah, I'm young, doing this and that. But at the same time, it's like write about the important stuff.
The important, which is the music at the end of the day. It don't matter what age you are.
It doesn't matter what age.
Yo, that's real. I think people should respect that more. So for all you writers, pay attention to that. But I will say, and that's why I said it, I use the term, you're an old soul, you know, living in a young woman's body, because it's I think sometimes the approaches from their perspective is that because you are so young, it's a trip, because your music is so mature, whereas most people your age are talking about turning up, you know what I'm saying, or they're talking about things that just aren't relatable to an older audience. So you also have to take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's all good. It meets in the middle. On the flip side, this beat behind us, Erykah Badu, I know that's an artist that someone you would like to work with. What does her music mean to you?
I just think she has a way with words. I'm really into, if I wasn't a musician, I would definitely go into writing. I think it's really crazy how words have so much weight and depth. And I think she has mastered that. Like a simple line could mean so much. And I think she is a queen of picking those words out and placing them in the right order to convey the right meaning.
Yeah,
so
she's
much respect.
Favorite artist, Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
She's the queen of neo soul and just somebody to this day that I continue to listen to over and over. Along with her and D'Angelo are like probably top 5 most artists played on this show. It's
really?
a trip, but I have to keep rotating them to remind everybody that like this is
where
the
it started.
sound.
Yeah,
this is where it really started. Are you open to writing for other artists?
Oh yeah.
Have you yet?
Not yet, but I'm very interested in doing that.
That's love.
Yeah.
That's real. Now I know one thing that's interesting to me, because you come from such a independent and such a progressive background of you're on the verge. How is it, I know you're signed, right? You're signed to Atlantic. How has that been, and what's that like for you?
I'm into things working organically and not feeling forced, and I think they've done a very good job of making me feel that way, or making it comfortable for me. They do a really good job of catering to the artist's needs, and case by case. Not every artist is not the same, and your approach can't be the same every time. So I think they do a really good job of that. So I'm really thankful to have that extra push and team,
I agree, because every artist needs a team.
Exactly.
And every artist needs a resource. Even when it comes to studio time, guess what? You're a big artist, and when it comes to clearing those samples, when it comes time to that tour bus, you better hit them on the line. Tell Lyrical, be like, yo, give me that tour bus. Pay for that.
Right.
Clear that Missy sample now. You know what I'm saying? And but that's why you need a team. And when it comes to all that, so I'm glad, because I know that you and your team made the right decision, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? But we know we're gonna be seeing you and working together, Soulection Festival and just different things. We would love to plug you into that circuit, because our audience loves you. On the last note, what's next musically? Now that you re-released the EP, when is the new music dropping?
I'm working on an album right now, so I'm trying to find the exact direction. So I've still been right now. I'm in the period of being a student. I think as an artist, you have to always go back to being a student to other artists. So I've been going to shows, seeing other artists perform, watching YouTube videos, just to get that, go back to the spot where I was when I first started Moon Shoes. So you have to always come back in the shadows for a little while, just
Definitely.
to, feel everything out. So that's where I am now.
Got it.
Yeah.
And to the struggling artist, the artist who is up and coming and looking for their self-identity, what would you tell them?
I would say, do you know who you are. Everyone knows. It's just the confidence and the willingness to be who you are to everyone else.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're about to get into couple of songs that you're gonna perform for us. Earlier I said Moon Rocks. It's off of Moon Shoes. Joe K
Moon
needs
Rocks.
to kick rocks for that. My
That's
bad.
a good theme. I like that.
My
Moon
bad. That was a brain fart. But off of Moon Shoes, which is out worldwide right now, what songs you thinking about doing?
Blossom Dairy and Free Room.
Okay, so let's get into it here on Soulection Radio. Once again, Ravyn Lenae. This will not be the last time you hear from her. All right, keep it locked.